Smiley. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Wonderful. We are here for our weekly update. So there's nothing going on. That's the update. Yeah, nothing really going on. So I have yet to announce our monthly giveaway for February. So I figured we just hop right into that, kind of go through the things that people can win. You'll get entry into the monthly contest. We started over fresh this month. So anybody who's made a purchase at the end of the month will go through and enter everybody's name in that made a purchase. So if you come in 5 times throughout the month, you get an entry every day that you come in and make a purchase. Or you can share the main photo post, which I'll have posted directly after the announcement of this video. So you can share this video, or you can share the kind of main post that will be pinned at the top of the page. You have to share it publicly, elsewise I don't know that you shared it. It'll just say someone shared it, and I can't give you credit. So make sure it shares publicly, or come and make a purchase. That's how you get entered to win. We've got some great prizes. You know what our prizes are. They're sitting right next to you. Are you very excited? You helped pick them out this month.
That's right. These are going to be some sick prizes. We're going to have the new SpeedFrame Pro version 2. We're also going to have a mountain bike shed cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool, right?
It is. Linda's not excited, but
Linda's kind of asleep, but
she's on camera. She does better than us. So yeah, we've got some really cool stuff. I wanted to give away a kid's bike this month. You said it would be cooler if we gave away the premium half shell from Fox, the SpeedFrame Pro. If people got the mountain bike shed cooler, which is actually a backpack, so you can wear it, and then it's got cool insignia on it with the new MTB shed logo with the shock in it. Think of that as you may. But yeah, really cool cooler that says MTB on it, and it's lined and all that, so it'll keep anything cool for you. So that's nice. The helmet's super cool. Oh, and then the seat cover, the Fox seat cover.
Almost forgot.
Yeah, so that's nice for your vehicle. Let everybody know how cool you are with your Fox seat cover. It does look really nice. I love black and white things, which is why that's all black and white. Now, you're free to choose any color and any size SpeedFrame Pro if you do win. And the same thing, we'll draw at March 1st at 8 p.m. You have to be in the live chat to win. So we'll call 5 names. If no one gets called, then we'll do that. And I'll likely throw in, I've got some small prizes and stuff that I'll likely throw in as well. We may just start calling names after we get our main winner. I may just start calling a few more names, seeing who's in there, and start giving stuff away. So, and that'll all be stuff you can come pick up in shop. But yeah, I thought that was cool for February. It'll be a slow month, so odds should be even better than January. Maybe a 1 in 30 odds if you come and buy something. I don't see us having more customers than that. So that was a good time to come get some lube. What kind of things would you be coming into the store to buy right now?
Well, you gotta stay on top of your bike maintenance. Get some lube. Get some muck off.
What are you short of at home right now that you need?
Chain oil.
You need lube.
I mean, I kind of always do. You know, always muck off. More muck off won't hurt.
Ooh, or we have torque wrenches here.
That's true.
Torque wrenches are really dope. A lot of people don't have those at home, or if they do, it's like the automotive style ones that are like inch pounds and huge. You can get the Park Tool one that goes up to 12 Newton meters and get really precise with. Especially if you have a carbon bike, it's vitally important. But when was the last time you checked the torque specs on your suspension pivots, Riley?
I mean, my hand. But I don't have a torque wrench at home, so that's why everyone watching this, you need to get your own torque wrench.
You have access to buying one here, though, don't you? Or you could come into the shop.
The owner's kind of crazy.
I am stingy with the discounts. No, and that was, kind of funny enough. I was talking with one of my reps today, so I went back through and looked. I've actually been very generous with the discounts over the last year in order to keep sales going, and we didn't make enough money. So the discounting is probably going to continue, but if people want to see that continue to be able to happen, they're going to want to come in and make sure they're buying their bikes from their local bike shop. Because I think that's one thing, with COVID, kind of mixed everybody up on bike shops. This is a very niche sport and a niche community that we're in. So in order to make sure we continue to get innovation in products, you need bike shops. Like, I don't know if people understand the influence your local bike shop has on the vendors. These companies are all a lot smaller than you think. Like, companies like Wolf Tooth, they have like 4 CNC machines, or Deity, is ran by a guy and his wife, essentially. They have a couple of employees, but these companies are all very small. So, it's important that, and because here's the other thing, like, you could go and buy all your stuff online and they're selling it for slightly above what dealer costs are and stuff like that. And what's going to happen is that's going to dry up too. So you're going to get left with less choices, less things to choose from if you don't have your local bike shops, or less innovations and less of these small mountain bike companies and people that invest in niche enterprises. So as riders, I always try to do with like my favorite restaurants, whatever it may be. We all need to make a point to make sure we're going out and spending the money in bike shops, spending our money, and most people who listen to us aren't anywhere near St. Louis. So whatever your local bike shop is, if they kind of go away or if they decide it's not worth their time anymore to continue to put in the work that it takes to run a bike shop, and, the advocacy for the community and really just being a hub for your cycling community, when those things disappear, it's not going to be good for the biking scene. So, make a point of, whether you're going into a bike shop, maybe they don't have exactly what you want, but they have something close, get it. Like, come on, like, what are we doing? So, elsewise, you're going to run out of people who really care to continue to invest in you and in your community. So, I think that's my weekly update this week. This is a very important year to make sure you're supporting your favorite bike shops and favorite bike brands. Now is not the time to kind of say like, oh, well, I could get this for a little bit cheaper here, or, this bike brand has this. If you do that, you're going to be without choices. In 5 years, I won't be around to tell you I told you so, but you'll be thinking about this conversation and seeing this email on here. So, I think that's something to just keep in mind as folks are in winter and kind of planning out their season, and maybe some new bike purchases they have coming up for the following year. Support your local shops. It's very important for people. I don't think anybody gets into the bike industry to get rich. And from what I can tell, there's almost no way for that to happen. So, understand that if you have a local bike shop, if you have a shop that supports the things you like to do, make sure you support them, because they're only there because they're trying to help you out. And if you think it's any other way and that people are just here because we're trying to make a buck or whatever, trust me, it is not that. And now this can be a crunchy year, so it's going to be really important that people do that. I feel like all I've done is guilt people all winter to come spend money at the shop. I have to, though. I mean, it's getting to that. So, not that I want to guilt people. I don't want to guilt people about their hobby, but I know that's how I was as a consumer before I opened the shop. I had my shop that I always went to and went out of the way to do it. And I do that with all the businesses. And I see a lot of the businesses that I enjoy. I tend to like things. I like them more if other people don't like them. So, a lot of my favorite restaurants always close down, all that kind of stuff, because the places I go, a lot of other people don't go. So, we're in that boat here. Really, as cyclists in general in Missouri, cycling, but especially mountain biking, is a very, very niche pursuit. You don't see many hockey stores around anymore. You don't see any other specialty stores around anymore. So if you want a store that's going to specialize in the things you want and make sure your interests are being looked after, then you have to make a point to support those things. I really always hated that whole support your local bike shop BS before I opened the shop. I thought it was silly. Yeah. I'm starting to understand why they were saying that.
It's true.
Because, my thought always was I didn't think we needed to guilt our customers to say support your local bike shop. I thought should be maybe something more along the lines of like, support your local rider, and then they will support your local bike shop. But I don't see that. We've obviously done a lot for the community here and kickstarting mountain bike specific trails and some more progressive trails. Those things really weren't happening before we were around. So, I put a lot of time and effort into making those things start, and it's gotten this snowball rolling that's doing great in Missouri now. But I did all that, and I don't feel like we really got shown the love that we probably should have for all those efforts. So, again, I would like to say I'm not guilting people, but I 100% am. I would love to continue to do this for a very long time, but if we continue to have people like this, like we have customers that live in Eureka who I know very well who've gone and bought bikes online because they were a couple $100 cheaper for some build because somebody had a sale or this or that. And it's like, is that really going to be worth it when now you have to drive 45 minutes to your nearest bike shop because you wanted to buy a bike online and not at your local store? Or maybe it had, instead of, I use the NX GX because GX is way better. But like, me personally, if I was going into, geez, I just touched my mic. That's probably bad. If I was looking for a bike and I could get the same bike online that's got GX build, or I can go into my local shop and buy the NX, without question, I'm buying the NX from the bike shop that's local to me, 100% of the time. And I'll spend the extra $130 upgrade my rear end to a GX, and I think that's lost. And if and I feel like when I was growing up, or 10 years ago, that was important to most riders, and all of us did that. I'm not saying I'm special in any way. I feel like that's how everybody was. We're in a different time now, so that doesn't really happen. But as a community, we do have to realize that if we continue to do that and continue to move everything to whatever, you're going to run out of options.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty much.
That's it. That's my goal trip for everybody for the week. Promise next week I won't be so guilty. The weather was a little bit nicer this week. It still was raining.
Yep.
So we talked about that last week in the deleted episode. I almost got us to the point where I couldn't release this episode. But we'll end it here this week, so maybe I can actually release this one.
Yeah.
Do you have any last final thoughts for the week?
Support your local bike shop.
Support your local bike shop. And any riding goals for the next 2 weeks?
Stay on the grind, keep going to the gym, and riding every morning.
Are you signed up for the Chubb Enduro?
I will be.
It's coming up in about a month.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that.
Yeah, the Enduro season's about to kick off.
I know. Starting with the Chubb Enduro, which is kind of weird because usually it's the last one because it's the hardest one. Mm-hmm. But, you're going to be waked up real fast when you ride that. Yeah,
and that's the Enduro series is another thing that, if you're kind of borderline on whether you want to do it or not, it's staged, so you can kind of go at your own pace, do what you want to do. But, again, we have to support these local events and local races like, the stuff Matt's doing. That's going to get us more trails in the area. That's going to get a lot of things
It already has, too, yeah.
Right. So we need, people, if you're on the line about, I'm not a big racer myself. I don't like that kind of stuff. I do like going to the event and seeing everybody have a good time. But if you're on the border about whether you want to do it or not, sign up, do it, support that. That's also another way to help support your local trails, your local mountain bike community, and move on. Because, you got to support mountain bike specific stuff because, there's a reason for 30 years nobody cared about what mountain bikers were doing.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Have a great week.
Yeah, bye.